So in my career, I've done a number of tier one IT transformations at large companies. And one of my biggest headaches was maintaining sandboxes, getting user access and logins, clearing out the environment and making sure nobody breaks it. And so using labs in my previous life would have saved me so much time and energy. With using labs right now in our learning curriculum, we don't have as many dependencies on other teams to maintain the environments. Once we have the environment in Skillable, we're able to launch it, and each user has their own instance. So they're able to do their work in a silo where they're not impacted by any other users in that environment. So it's improved our learning experience in that it's saved time, that is more efficient, and overall the experience is much better for the end user because they have the instructions panel, which walks them through step by step how to do the task they've been asked to do. I think anything that is built in software could benefit from using a virtual lab for users to interact with, to try things out in a safe environment, and to be able to build their skills. So for me, this is just the beginning of transforming how learning is done across the globe for technical resources, but it can also be used for customer-facing resources to try things out before they're live with the customer to make sure that they have the confidence that they need to do their job as well.
With hands-on experiential labs, they provide simulated real-world scenarios which the learners can practice, and as they practice, they can make mistakes, but they make mistakes in a safe environment, right? In my opinion, that actually leads to better retention and understanding of the topics and the materials that are being taught. And the practical exposure that the employee feels leads them to be more confident in their ability to perform their task, and overall a win-win situation then for Majesco as well as for the people who are getting trained as well. A very specific outcome is our significant reduction in the product configuration defects. Before the labs, right? The developers used to struggle with the correct configurations, which configuration to apply, how to apply, and often that led to higher defects, and which obviously meant longer project timelines. But once we integrated with this lab-based training, employees or developers had a lot more hands-on practice in actually configuring the product, which resulted in definitely notable decrease in defects.
The best benefits, particularly as we looked at some of the boot camps around configurations and development tools, etc., where people have to try out these tools to do different things. Inherently, there is a fear that, am I going to do something wrong, which will kind of mess it up for everybody. Having their own scalable, lab or their own area where they could work without the fear of disrupting it for others, and the fact that it can always be restored back for them if they kind of do something that is completely wrong, allowed a lot of people to try things that they would not normally try. So one of the big benefits is, even in that instructor-led training, is that people were comfortable to try things out, ask questions, and the instructors also were able to glean how people were approaching the tool. Even though we build these tools and we want people to use it in certain ways, we were able to see that how people were approaching that and guide them on what the right thing is, and more importantly, why that's the way to do it. And I cannot emphasize enough how important that is in the scheme of things, for people to be able to feel free about making mistakes that won't have major repercussions, and going back and doing that, keeping their environment just their own, where they can play around with things, experiment, is invaluable. And I think that aspect of it is a big driver for why we use Skillable.